Namaste everyone, welcome back to my channel, and I am just so excited to be back here, to be back filming and be here, and so thankful and so grateful to be here in my new studio. I'm just going to give you guys a tour very soon, but today I have a super exciting video for all of you. I am going to be reviewing and creating this beautiful Christmassy glowy look with all the e.l.f. products. It is such a beautiful wine eyeshadow look, and I cannot wait for you guys to see how I created this glowy and dewy look using all the e.l.f. products which I have been collecting over all this time that I was vanished from YouTube. So let's quickly jump right in and see how I got this look and see what my thoughts are about all of these e.l.f. products. So all this while that I've been gone, I have been purchasing way too much makeup, and here I have my box full of e.l.f. makeup, and I'm just going to do a full face of e.l.f. makeup. It's going to be the first time that I'm going to be using these products. I'm super excited about that. So let's just quickly do it. Alrighty, I have all of these goodies from e.l.f. which we're going to basically be unboxing, trying them on and creating a look with it. So I have two highlighters from e.l.f. Metallic flare highlighter. One of them is in 24 karat gold and one of them is in rose gold. So I'm probably going to be using the rose gold today. And then I have this cute little bite size eyeshadow palette. This is the Berry Bad Bite Size palette. This is super cute, and I really feel that it's going to be perfect for some Christmassy look. So this is what we're going to be using today. Then I also have these hydrating gel eye masks, and in this winter season when my skin gets way too dry, I think this should be perfect. Then I have the cult favorite beauty sponge here. It is a camo concealer sponge, so we're going to definitely be using that as well. I have a setting mist as well. This is a dewy setting mist in the variant coconut. I have a mascara, Keep Your Curl Black. So this is the mascara that I have. I have a lipstick. It's a matte lipstick by e.l.f. And this one is in the shade Marvelous. And I'm really impressed with the kind of quantity that you get in this one, which is really nice for the price point, and it is only for 800 bucks. And the best part about all of these is that the e.l.f. is definitely has a lot of discounts going on Nykaa, so you should definitely check that out. I have an eyeliner. It is the Intense Ink eyeliner in the shade Blackest Black. I'm really excited to see how black it is. I also have a jelly highlighter from e.l.f. You can see I haven't opened any of it. So this is in the shade Bubbly. So this is also kind of champagne-y rose gold. Foundation, Flawless Satin Foundation. I am not very sure how well the shade would match me since I matched myself online. But let's see, I'm hoping for the best. This is a satin finish. And this one is in the shade 240 Vanilla. So it has neutral yellow undertones, which kind of is what I really like in my foundations. Then I also have a liquid glitter eyeshadow in the shade Flirty Birdie. And again, this also I'm going to be using. I have a lip plumping gloss. So pretty. This one is in the shade Champagne Glam. Again, something that would really go with the eye look that we are going to be doing today. And I have a brow product This is the Instant Lift Brow Pencil, and I guess this one, what shade? This is in the shade Neutral Brown. Last but not the least, I have the Camo Concealer, 16-hour Camo Concealer, the cult favorite. This is in the shade Medium Beige, and I'm kind of really excited about trying this one out. I really hope it's not very drying because it's a matte finish, and matte finish concealers can be pretty drying. I couldn't really get my hands on the powder, so probably going to be using my all-time, favorite powder, Laura Mercier today. But I have quite a lot of products which are going to be really good for creating the whole look. So let's quickly start. So I've kind of unboxed all the products very quickly, and I really wanted to show you what the sponge looks like dry. So this is how soft and squishy it feels when it's dry. So let's just dive into the makeup. My throat isn't doing very well, and I'm really sorry for that bad voice, but I couldn't wait any longer. This is what the tip of the pencil looks like. I mean, it's pretty pointy. It's quite pigmented. Not too much and not too less. It's something that will be very easy to use even for beginners, which is a great thing. The shade is kind of a little light for my taste, just a tiny little bit. And I kind of wish this was a little thinner, because once the pointy end goes away, it is definitely going to be difficult to deal with such a thick pencil. If you see me looking towards that side, it is because I have my monitor there, and I kind of find it very easy to look into the monitor to see how things are going. So that is why when you see me looking there constantly. Now that I have my brow almost filled, I'm just going to comb through the brow and just go a little downwards to see if there are any more sparse areas that need to be filled. Just like I found this one. The others are almost done. I'm not really filling it very harshly, and you can see I'm just going to be flicking around when I come towards the front part of the brow. Do you see the difference? I've hardly even filled it, but it has made like quite a big difference already, which is pretty nice. And it looks really natural. And that's probably the best part about it. So I have zoomed you guys in a little bit because we're going to move into the eyeshadow now. And I'm going to be prepping my eyelids with this concealer. This is the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. This is in the shade Natural Beige. Sorry, this is in the shade Medium Beige. This kind of feels like my shade, but I think we would just know once we have like the whole base and everything on. Pretty fast drying, just like the Tarte Shape Tape, and that is something I really hate, especially for dry skin people, because it can get really intimidating to work with such concealers. You really need to move quick, else it can be pretty messy, pretty cool and pretty tiny. This is what the eyeshadow palette looks like. So cute, right? I'm taking the lightest shade first. Now moving into the dark matte shade, this one. As dark as the shade looks in the pan, it's not that pigmented and not that dark. We'll really have to build this up, which I'm not happy about. And I'm going like pretty hard-handed into the pan, but still it's, not as pigmented as I expected it to be. Am I happy with the pigment? No. But do I think we can go any darker? I'm not sure with this eyeshadow, I'm not very happy. Even though I did hear some great reviews about this, it's kind of, quite patchy as well. That's kind of the reason that I always like to invest in good eyeshadow palettes, because it's too much of trouble to keep building up the eyeshadow and things like that. You can see I'm going like pretty heavy-handed into the pan, and still you see there's just not enough pigment that I'm getting out of the eyeshadow. There's some fallout too. I am not really bothered with the fallout. I'm just bothered by the pigment and the blendability of the shadow. And believe me, I was so excited about, using these bite size shadow palettes that I was about to order probably 2 more, shades, and I'm glad I did not, because it's really not worth any money, honestly. I think Makeup Revolution makes some pretty good shadows if you want to go into drugstore, but not this one for sure. That's the best we can do with this. So now I am going to go into this shade. I'm going to use my finger just the way I use all the shimmers. Like, where the hell is the pigment, Do you even see it? It's here on the finger, but it's definitely not transferring nicely onto the eyelid. Let's do one more thing and just, try using a setting spray, which kind of improves the shimmery shadows. Definitely better than what it was before. Let's just take some more. It's kind of going to be like a cut crease, but not really a cut crease. Do we like it? It's okay. It's not too good. Nothing out of the wall. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the darkest shade again on the same brush and try packing it onto the outer corner. I really want to play around with the liquid eyeshadow. This is what the wand looks like, and this is what it looks like swatched. I'm just going to tap it like this. And using my finger, I'm just going to blend the glitter particles around. This is quite pretty. I want to do a wing with the eyeliner, so we can try out the eyeliner as well. This is the Intense Ink eyeliner. This is what the tip looks like. It is skipping so much. It's pretty dry on the eyes. I think I was applying quite a lot of pressure here on the back of my hands, but here it's, you can see it's quite dry. And can you see that? That's pretty bad again. Not happy at all with the eyeliner as well. I am unhappy. It's not working, guys. It is not even working. It's depressing to see products like this in the market. I mean, I had such high hopes from e.l.f. It's just not working properly. Way too dry, And the side is so good. But of course, it's so thick that you cannot really be applying it using the side, It is definitely not going to be user friendly. I'm pretty sad at this point. And I don't even feel like going ahead. Alrighty, you guys. So I finished the other eye. And this, I used the NYX Epic Ink Liner, which is one of my favorite liners of all time. Look at the difference of both the tips. Look how thick is this and how fine is this, and look at how beautiful the liner looks. I still want to wing it up a little bit, which I would do after I'm done with the face and everything. But look at how patchy this one looks, and look at how smooth this is. So that is the reason that I absolutely dislike the e.l.f. liner, and it says it's the blackest black. And can you notice the difference in how intense black this one is as compared to this one? So, and this isn't even that old, and this is the first time that I've opened it and used it. And this is such an old eyeliner, and still it is going so strong and so good. So absolutely a no-no. It's completely a waste of money. It has a curved wand. Can you see that? I haven't curled my lashes because I want to see this mascara in action. So this is what the wand of the mascara looks like. And I'm happy that it is not a very thick wand, because that just makes it difficult to apply your mascara. Definitely is curling up the lashes. You probably cannot see it on camera a lot, but I hope you can see it now. This is definitely a little more curled as compared to this one, but nothing dramatic, nothing over the top again. You definitely have a lot of mascaras out in the market, that in the drugstore specifically, that do much better than this. It is definitely coated all the lashes, makes them look blacker, makes them look a little fuller, but again, nothing over the top. So I am just going to be using my Poreless Putty Primer, which is one of my favorites. I have used this before. I absolutely love it to just fill in the pores. Such a beautiful product. I'm going to zoom you guys in a little bit so you can clearly see the pores and see them just vanishing away when I apply this. Can you see the pores here? Do you see the difference in this versus this? Such a huge difference, right? Such a great product, and I absolutely love it. It has a luminous variant as well, which I haven't really tried, but this is like a cult favorite. Everybody loves this. It is such a great product. You know, it's a perfect dupe for the Tatcha silk canvas. Yes. I'm just going to make sure that all my pores and problematic areas are kind of filled in. Some pores on my chin as well. You know, I'm sure you also would have noticed this, that your pore size kind of reduces in the winters. So you don't really need like a lot of pore filling primer in the winters. Whereas in the summers, it's like so huge. The pores look so huge. You desperately need a pore filling primer. Alrighty, so let's just move on to the foundation now. And this is the foundation. It says it has a flawless satin finish. Apply a small amount starting in the center of the face and blend outwards using fingertips, a sponge or a foundation brush. Layer as needed for more coverage. It comes with a pump, which is a great thing. I am just going to shake it pretty well since it's been sitting on the shelf. So I'm going to be mixing my Makeup Forever Ultra HD in this, so I can at least be using this. This is what the shade looks like. You can see the consistency, it's pretty thick. I'm just taking like a tiny little drop, mixing the two together. I think that's more like my shade. It is already starting to dry out, so you don't really have much playtime with this. That you really need to be sure of. Go Around does have a lot of fragrance, and if you are someone who's, you know, sensitive to fragrances and stuff like that, this probably isn't the one for you. The foundation looks like, it looks smooth, pretty good, matches me pretty well now. Medium coverage for sure, because Makeup Forever definitely has like a light to medium coverage. Let's move on to the Camo Concealer. This is in the shade Medium Beige. Since this concealer is pretty drying, I am going to be, you know, going eye by eye and not applying it all over in one go. One, the under eyes look pretty dry. So I always like have a little dry patch here under this eye right here, and it is kind of enhancing it, which isn't a great thing. It is not covering my color corrector. It is just, you know, when I was blending, I've never noticed something like this with any of my concealers. You know, this one is kind of, you know, number one, not covering the color corrector, and number two, it is also moving around the color corrector, and that ain't a good thing for sure. So what I'm actually going to do now, I'm just going to try and use the sponge. So the concealer definitely kind of adheres onto any dry patches that you might have. You see the dry patches are kind of becoming very prominent after this, and this particular area looks extremely dry, and even if I'm trying to blend it, of course it won't, because it's a matte concealer. And so I basically think for anyone who has a dry skin, this foundation and concealer is a complete no-no for you. And but for somebody who has like a very oily skin, this looks so bad, and I've never faced something like this. So that's something that's pretty disheartening. Now, since this is a dewy setting mist, I just want to see if this can do some good to my skin at this point. It's a pretty harsh, pump. Look at that. So harsh. Pretty harsh spray. I'm just going to take my sponge and dab it all in to make sure that the hydration is kind of logged in. So whatever the pump does feel like, the mist is definitely, it has added some hydration to the skin for sure. It definitely looks a little more glowy rather than looking all matte and all flat. And even, the kind of concealer also looks just a tiny bit better now. I'm just going to use the rose gold highlighter and probably keep the 24 karat gold in a giveaway for you guys. This is what the highlighter looks like. I'm just going to swatch it for you guys. Is it very blinding? No. Let's see. Can you guys even see it? Does add some glow for sure. This is not chunky at all, because some of the drugstore highlighters can get very chunky, which I absolutely hate. Kind of pressing it into the skin rather than just blending it away, and that is when it's just adding this very subtle glow. The mist added so much hydration back. Had the mist not been there, it would have looked pathetic. I'm going to be using my own bronzer for just some slight definition. So let's just move on to the last bit of the e.l.f. makeup product that we have. we have a liquid, matte liquid lipstick, like the wand. So the shade looks pretty nice, and I kind of like this. This is something that I definitely see myself reusing. Let's do this lip gloss. This is a lip plumping gloss. It has started to tingle, which definitely kind of shows that it's going to give us like at least some plumping. So I finished the look off camera. I did put on a gold eyeliner in my lower waterline and just finished with the mascara on the lower lashes, and that is about it. I absolutely, love how the highlighter looks on the skin. It just makes my skin look wet, which is absolutely perfect. So to give you my final thoughts, I'm going to go on one by one on all the products and give you my final opinion. So let's see. We started off with the Instant Lift Brow Pencil. After filling in with this pencil, I did set my brows with the Benefit 24-hour brow setter, which is one of my holy grail products. So this pencil I would kind of give like a 6 on 10. I wish it had a thinner tip, which would have made, filling in much more precise and much more easier. This can get messy pretty quickly because it's quite thick of a tip, and I would say it is definitely not beginner friendly because again it is very, very thick. And the pigment is definitely perfect. Is not too much, not too less. The perfect amount of pigment, the perfect amount of softness, and the perfect amount of blendability this pencil has. The only complaint that I have is the size of the tip for this particular one. Moving on to the next product is the Bite Size Eyeshadow Palette, which I did not enjoy a lot. It definitely lacks pigment. I wish it had some more, and I wish it was a little more pigmented. If I talk about the mattes, they hardly are pigmented. I have used a lot of burgundies, a lot of browns, chocolatey browns. This is a burgundy family, a wine family, and the pigment is very, very less. The blendability is good enough, but if I talk about the pigment, that's very, very less. And if I talk about the shimmers, they're very dry, so you definitely need some setting spray with it so you can at least see some pigment out of the shimmers. But nevertheless, I would really give it hardly 4.5 or 5 out of 10, nothing more than that. There are a lot of other drugstore eyeshadow palettes which are the same price or maybe even cheaper, and they're definitely better than this. So this is a no-go for sure. But whereas the liquid eyeshadow has all my heart, this is a pretty nice liquid glitter eyeshadow, and this one is in the shade Flirty Body. Pretty nice, lot of glitter, looks very, very beautiful on the eyes, so it should be definitely added to your vanity. It is going to be a very, very easy to use product. The tip, the wand is very, very nice, so I think this one gets an 8 out of 10. Moving on to the eyeliner. This is the Intense Ink eyeliner, and I hardly see any ink in this. Hate it, completely hate it. I would really request you guys not to waste your money on this one. This is an absolutely worthless product. very dry. The tip is so thick that you can definitely never ever make like a good wing out of this. The immediate tip of the eyeliner is so dry, doesn't want to work, skips a lot, whereas a lot of my other favorite eyeliners never do that. So this hardly gets 2 out of 10 for me. Next comes the Keep Your Curl mascara. I kind of like the wand. If I talk about the curl, it doesn't really curl your lashes like a lot, but it can really be like a daily wear mascara when you do not need like a lot of oomph to your lashes. But I would really give it like 6 out of 10. Nothing crazy. It definitely makes your lashes look very black, which is a good thing. Curls your lashes a bit, gives them volume, nothing over the top, nothing extraordinary. So just a 6 on 10. Coming to the face, the base products, I would really like to talk about this e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, which is my go-to holy grail product when I want my pores to look to just hide away, go and take a back seat. This is what I go for. I absolutely love it. Amazing cult favorite, a 10 on 10. Super nice. You get a lot of quantity as well. So this definitely is highly recommended. You should definitely add it to your vanity and love it. Totally love it. But the next products that I am going to be talking about are something that I definitely did not enjoy at all. That is the foundation. e.l.f. Flawless Satin Foundation. Definitely a no for anybody with dry skin like mine. Hate it. Because I probably see, of course, this was not my shade, no questions about that. That's probably my mistake. I did not choose my shade correctly, but that's not an issue. I worked and added one of my favorite foundations to this to just get it to my shade, which definitely has, I've gotten the perfect shade with it. If I probably would have added like a few drops of facial oil, it might have worked for me, but other than that, it just clings onto your dry patches. It just makes your dry patches look worse. So that is the reason that I would really give it like a 4 on 10, because it didn't work for me. Might work for people with oilier skin types, and it would definitely be something that I might give a try again by adding some facial oil to it. Stay tuned for that little review. I might give it a second try, but for now it is just a 4 on 10. Next comes the e.l.f. Camo Concealer 16-hour wear matte finish. I really wanted to try out the hydrating one from this, but I couldn't really get my hands on it, and therefore I got this one. And this one is something that I definitely kind of in my heart knew that it won't really work for me, since it's a matte finish. I'm a very dry girl, and that is something that I knew, but I really wanted to give it a try and review it for you guys. But can work like an eyeshadow base, can work for oilier skin types. You really need to work quickly with this one. You do not have a lot of playtime. You have to blend it very quickly, otherwise it would just set then and there, and that is something that I do not really like. But you do you might like it. It's a full coverage. I also think that this shade wasn't the right for me. It just kind of skipped on to covering the color corrector. It also kind of moved the color corrector around, which never ever happens with me. So for me, this is a 6 on 10, nothing more than that. I might be, since I've invested in it and I have bought it, I would be using it just like an eyeshadow base, but nothing more than that. It doesn't really work for me since it's a very, very, very mattifying concealer, and I hate such kinds. And that is one of the reasons that I do not even like the Tarte Shape Tape, because it's considered to be a dupe for Tarte Shape Tape, and both of those have a very, very matte finish, and that is why I do not like either of them. I haven't used any powders and just used this beautiful dewy setting spray. Absolutely loved it. If this wouldn't have been here, my makeup would have been a complete disaster today, and I'm absolutely sure about it. All the dryness and all the patchiness the foundation and the concealer caused, this just took care of it. I only did not like this bump of it. It's too harsh. Other than that, it is mwah, love it. Absolutely love it. It has to get a 9 on 10 from me. I definitely see myself using this a lot. I'm just going to love it. I am absolutely sure about it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. I just do not have any more words to say. You dry skin girls, you're going to love this. You should definitely try this one. Moving on, look at that. This is so beautiful. Not at all chunky, not at all glittery. I just thought that it would look, it just does not have any pigment and all of that. But the moment I tried it on my face, especially after having applied a setting mist and putting this on after that, this was like a chef's kiss. This was so beautiful. Look at how glowy and wet my skin looks. Absolutely love it. A 10 on 10. You can wear this every single day, especially, you dry skin girls, you're just going to love the glow. Some highlighters can really create like a shadow. This doesn't do that. The moment light hits on to the highlighter, it just looks so beautiful. Absolutely love it. And because I am going to be using this and I love it so much, I'm going to give this one to one of you out there. This is in the shade 24 Karat Gold, and this one is the Rose Gold shade, which I've already used. So this is going to be mine, and this one is going to be for you guys, because I love you all so much. And thank you guys for waiting for me and for supporting me, because I haven't been here for such a long while. Nonetheless, this is not the time to get all that emotional. I really want to move on with the review. Moving on to the lips. I mean, I loved both of those. This lipstick, look at that shade. This is so beautiful. All of you who like matte lipsticks, this is one of the best formulas I've tried. If your lips look very chapped or dry or flaky, does not do that. Looks beautiful. This shade is called Marvelous, which is beautiful, and it just gives it like a monochromatic look, which I absolutely love. This definitely gets like an 8 on 10 from me. Lip plumping gloss. Look at how beautiful my lips look, yeah? I mean, wow. It just not very sticky. Have you noticed all that stickiness that some of the glosses give you and all of that? It just makes it look very gunky and bad. This does not do that. Has a slight tingling feeling, nothing over the top, doesn't burn your lips a lot, makes them look juicy and plump and beautiful. Definitely a 10 on 10 for the price point and for the amount of product that you get. Love it. And last but not the least, this beautiful sponge. Absolutely love it. Very squishy, very soft. Look at that perfect point to blend in your concealer. just doubles in size once you dampen it. Love it. Definitely, definitely a must have, definitely a recommendation. You should definitely give this a try. Look at that glow. No enhancing of the texture of the skin. Look at those lips. Just don't like how the concealer just enhanced the dry patches, which aren't really the case with my skin. I had already moisturized my skin pretty well, but it still did that. Love the glitter eyeshadow. Brows look beautiful, very natural, and the setting mist was wonderful. I think that is about it that I really like from e.l.f. Nothing very nice about the eyeshadow or the eyeliner or the mascara. Didn't really like it. But other than that, it looks pretty nice. Don't like the foundation and the concealer as well. But the lips look beautiful. The highlighter is mwah. That's just too beautiful. The gloss is very beautiful, and that is about it. I really hope you guys liked today's video, and I hope you're going to give me all the love and all the support now that I'm back. And I'm really hoping to be very regular with all of you. And for more such videos and more one brand tutorials, please give this one a thumbs up, like and subscribe to the channel. It would mean the absolute world to me. It would just be a good enough motivation to create content and create a lot of new videos for all of you. And I'm just going to see you guys very soon again. I love you all so much, and thank you guys for showing up, and thank you all for giving all the love and support.